Entrepreneurship can be really hard, and when you're doing it by yourself, trying to navigate the terrain, it can almost be impossible. That's why we created the Entrepreneur Circle. Every episode, you're going to hear from incredible entrepreneurs who are in the same trenches that you are in. And we're going to talk through what's working, what's not working, whether it be in marketing, finance, or anything in between. We're here to talk business and figure out how each of us can rise together. So welcome to the circle. Let's dig in. Welcome to Entrepreneur Circle. Today's guest is someone that you guys probably already know because she is making such an incredible impact in her work. Her name is Brooke Berndt, and she is not only an incredible business coach who has helped so many entrepreneurs almost productize their services and monetize different areas of their business that they didn't know they had money just sitting there. But in addition to that, she's the founder of Virtue Beauty Company, which is an amazing beauty line. So I am just so excited, Brooke, to have you. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah.
Tell me. Okay, I would love to start from the top.
Okay.
The very beginning, because these aren't your first entrepreneurial endeavors. Take us back to the first entrepreneurial thing that you did that got you on this path.
Well, everybody has a lemonade stand story, but no, really. So I come from a long line of entrepreneurs. My grandmother owned a bar business. My parents owned a bar business. Even my great grandfather had his hands, he was in the cigar business in Trinidad, Colorado. So entrepreneurship for me has just been ingrained since forever. I watched my parents build their businesses, my grandmother, and I didn't excel in school. The paradigm wasn't built for me. And I went to college, did all that. And then when I came back, my dad's like, hey, do you want to work at the bar for a little bit until you find your thing? And I was like, okay. And then, of course, what happened then? I'm the only child. So I ended up running the bar, and it was a bar in South Denver, and it did really, really well. Only because I think a lot of my friends came to see me. It was just so I just learned a lot about the operational piece because my parents were just going through a lot of life stuff, and that's really when I stepped in to learn more of the operation side, and that was really intriguing to me. And then I decided in 2002 that I was going to open my own bar business, and I signed on the dotted line at 26. I was like, I'm going to have my own.
Wow. And
did that, and it was amazing, but also difficult because it was 7 days a week and it took up majority of my time. So I love brick and mortar business owners because I've been there. I did end up losing my bar business due to redevelopment in 2010. So they forced us out, a huge conglomerate out of Ohio. It was just really sad to see all the small business. It was because the majority, it was a mall called Tamarack Square. Majority of the small businesses had to find a new location. So
wow.
What did they make it into? A Target.
Wow.
Which is, I love my Target, but at the same time, it's just another corporate. Let's just demo it and make it a corporate entity. And so that was very difficult. So I lost it, and I lost myself in that because I thought the bar business, I had just signed Paresa a 10-year option on a lease. And I thought that was going to be my future. And it was my family, my parents still had their bar. We had 2 other bars. And so that one went first. 2008 was brutal. And I was like, what am I going to do? I really don't want to get in this business again because it was so demanding. I lost a marriage through it, not because of it, but it just foundationally wasn't great for family. And that's when I fell into network marketing. I was depressed. I gained all this weight. A friend was doing this nutritional system, and I was like, okay, what is it? She shared it with me. I lost my husband, of course, lost 50 pounds overnight. And then I lost weight. So everybody, I had a network of people, I shared very on the down low because I had seen so many of my other friends do network marketing and, to be honest, poorly. So I was very turned off to it. So I was just like on the down, I'm like, this is it. This is the nutritional system. And then I made my first $54 in residual income. And I was like, as a business mind, I was like, okay, because working in a bar, it was like I had to work to make the money, or the bar had to profit, which was very difficult at times. I was like, how are you making money in your sleep? Like, what is this even? Like, we've had this conversation, right?
Right.
And so I went to this meeting that I was invited to because they're like, you're one of the top enrollers. I'm like, I am? Like, I am? Because again, people were just asking me and I was just naturally sharing it. It wasn't hard, because I had a network and people were just seeing me and they're like, gosh, Brooke, you've lost a lot of weight. And I'm like, I feel great. So I was invited to this, event and they're like, you're one of the top enrollers in the da-da-da. I was like, oh, but this is about boats and yachts and, getting rich, the whole,
I know it.
was labeled as.
Yeah.
The little fragment of what I'd seen, I was kind of turned off. So I was like, I didn't see the whole picture. So it was like opening the door to the whole picture. I was on the verge, to be quite honest, of bankruptcy. And because I'd lost a 6-figure income overnight. And I was like, I don't want to get back in this realm. I'm so stressed out. So anybody who owns a bar and brick and mortar, as far as a restaurant, I feel you. It is like one of the hardest things to operate. So I was very turned off. So I was like, oh, I'm open to learn about network marketing. So,
right.
And like we've talked about before, it was a conduit to where I am now, and just a fundamental shift to wealth building, because I knew how to like make money and work really, really hard to like kill myself, and I still have to rewire that today. Network marketing just opened the doors to like mentorship. There's no mentorship in the bar business. It was very tough. Unfortunately, it's very misogynistic. In meetings, I was just brushed over because it wasn't. I mean, I love men. I love working with men, but sometimes it was like, you're just, hey, is your dad here? And I'm like, no, I own this one and it's mine and I make the decisions. And it felt very like your decisions don't matter here. The network marketing space, I was like, people are like, oh, come learn. And I saw this couple walk across with a big old check. And my husband and I, like, we always joke about stuff because we're snowboarders. We're like, one day we're gonna have this check. We're gonna like, I don't even know if it's like X Games or whatever. We're just like thinking we're gonna have a check. So I was like, babe, I went to this event and they walk across stage with checks. And he's like,
so they're bought in at this point.
Yeah. I'm like, they're getting checks. And again, it was like average people. It wasn't like a because we'd been sold the lie that like, if you're not a celebrity, you can't make this type of money, right? But that's at least what I was sold on. Came back home. I was on fire. My husband was like, what did you go do? Like, cause he didn't know, and I was like, we're going to make a lot of money with this company. We're just going to do it. So for 7 years, I built very hard with this network marketing company.
That's longer than I thought.
Yeah.
That's awesome though.
Yeah.
And you saw some success in it.
Yes.
Not some.
Just life-changing. Yes. Because I was on the verge of bankruptcy and then it went,
that's amazing.
And I was able to travel and meet epic people and entrepreneurs and like people doing different stuff. Because when you're working in a bar 7 days a week and that's all you see. And mind you, I was commiserating with drinking a lot and doing all that. It's really difficult to see that there's other things out there. So through that experience, my husband and I were like, we're going to start a metal business. So we started a metal business through that, people were giving us permission, like you can do this, you can do that. And so it really was the conduit, that space, to give us permission to be multifaceted. And that's when I'm like, oh yeah, I'm doing this. And then in 2020, I invested in my first mastermind during COVID. Because I was kind of lost. I just had my child and I was like, oh man, I'm not feeling aligned. I want to grow. And with the company I was partnered with, I felt kind of stalled. I was like, well, I felt, a little trapped in it. Like, I don't want network marketing to be my everything or be my identity. And so people are like, oh, you should do some business coaching, with a PayPal link and a Facebook post. I made my first post and said, is there anybody out there who would like to learn from me? And that's how simple it was. Wow. And so I had 8 people message me and they're like, yeah, Brooke, can you teach me da 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 da? And because I'd learned so much about online marketing through the network marketing journey that people are like, yes. Fast forward, 2026 now we're doing this.
Wow.
I've helped a lot of people. And because what I'm doing is I see the gaps in, there's so many people that want to learn from other people. And so many people this is where people get stuck, is they're like, well, I have to be a 6, 7, 8, 9-figure earner to teach. And I'm like, no. You just have to be like 4 steps, 5 steps ahead. People are so desperately needing mentorship. And even, we'll talk about AI today too, but just from like a human to human, like you got this, like even to just like get an LLC. And it's simple. Yes, you could go Google it, but just have someone in your corner like, okay, go do this, go do this, go do that, come and report back.
Right.
Let me help you through it. These are your family might not support your endeavor. Let me help you through it. So yeah, it's been really cool to help so many business owners take their business life experience and put it into monetizable form.
Wow. I love that whole picture because I knew bits and pieces of it, but I love hearing this because 2 reasons. I feel like let's have a moment for network marketing, okay?
Yes,
They
a
get a
moment.
bad rep,
Yes.
and I get it. There's definitely some companies that are kind of shitty.
Yes,
Like,
they do
just
it
be
poorly.
aware.
Yeah.
But there's also something to be said about lunging into the unknown and really putting yourself out there to the people that are probably the most important people to you, where you're trying to sell them, or not even trying to sell them, but trying to share this concept or this product with them.
Yeah.
And that action of getting out of your comfort zone is the predecessor to having any success as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
That's number one. And number two, the fact that your parents were entrepreneurs and then you have also followed this path really your entire career, I think speaks volumes to just how big of an influence we have on our kids.
Yes.
That's the same for me. Like, my parents own franchises, Dairy Queen.
Love that.
I can eat a
I didn't
Blizzard
know
in
that.
30 seconds.
Okay.
Trained my whole life.
Wow.
But it really is a thing about how do we kind of pass on what we've learned. So I love those.
It's such a legacy piece, and people just miss it all the time. And there's so many people that have poured into me because they've gone ahead of me and said, hey, this is a good way to do it, or I can help you pass these types of things. Because in school, fundamental school, we're not taught entrepreneurship. And there's a lot of life, like there's a lot of self-development that happens in entrepreneurship. Like, you learn a lot about yourself, you learn a lot about other people. I feel like there's not enough leadership taught in the world. So leadership is so important, because you got to learn how to lead yourself. Because as an entrepreneur, there's no one telling you, you got to get up and go do the thing. Like, you have to tell yourself that.
Right.
Even if you don't want to show up, even if you're in comparison, imposter syndrome, all the things that you're facing, being a parent, which is the hardest job on the planet, I will tell you right now, has been the most challenging, most rewarding, yes. But at the same time, it's hard to navigate these things, and you need people to pour into you. You are truly the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I think people are so afraid to go in these rooms with other people because they're like, well, I'm not smart enough, or I'm not this. And I'm like, if you put yourself in rooms where you are not the smartest person, you are going to quantum leap. It's happened for me every time. I always go in and I'm humbled by the people in the room. My ego used to lead, right? I mean, that's the self-development journey, right? The triggers of like, oh, they're this, that, and the other. And that was me being small within myself. So I had to look within myself and say, okay, walk into this room, have a good posture, be a student instead of being someone who thinks, you have to prove something. So I was like, I just want to be a student. So in any room I walk in now, whether it's 2 people, 5 people, I'm always there with a question to the person,
Right.
I was just at a networking event. Someone's like, oh my gosh, this is like not, there's only like 5 people here. But I'm like, you gotta ask questions no matter what. If there's 5, there's 2, there's 1,
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you can always get something. But yeah, community is everything.
Community is everything. And I think you mentioned something in your network marketing journey of being in those rooms gave you permission to start the metal sign business.
Yes.
I think that's the biggest thing. When you push yourself to be in a room of high performers, you're seeing the examples of what could be for you, and that permission that you could do it too. You're there too for a reason.
And back to my point. So the people who walked across stage with the check, they were giving me permission. So that was a permission slip. So I came home. They didn't say that I couldn't do it too. They were like, you get to do this too. And I'm like, wait, I get to do this too. So in the bar business, it was more of a survival type of environment. Right. And again, there was probably a lot of bar owners or people, I just wasn't putting myself in those rooms. And so in network marketing, I was just kind of almost being forced. It was like, if I'm going to do this, I need to grow, and I need to be in these rooms, like learning and seeing like the possibilities, and the possibilities were endless. And I mean, I watched so many people who were here with me, just millions, So I was like, wow, people can actually make this type of money, because I had watched my parents work so hard and they made good money, but not, can I say it on this? The FU money.
Yeah.
The FU money.
You
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The money that's going to free you and went in crazy ways. So I made the FU money. But then what had happened was I didn't feel aligned anymore. And I felt like I wasn't growing. I felt like I kind of outgrew. I believe in the Lord. So the Lord's like, I need you here, not here anymore. And so that's when I started doing the business coaching.
So let's dive into the business coaching, because from what I see of you and your clients and the content that you put out, which is amazing, by the way, you should follow her because she just gives amazing guidance on her socials. You're helping really any business, but even service-based businesses productize their services, meaning how can you bottle this up into a digital product and make money while you sleep, essentially, right? Tell us a little bit more about what are the fundamentals of that? Who is a candidate to do something like that?
Anybody with life experience. So that's what's really exciting, because the digital space, and I say this to everybody where you can just take a piece of the pie, is by 2030, it will be $1 trillion industry, the e-learning space. So that is digital courses, ebooks. People are like, oh, they're dead. They are not dead. It's such a scalable to sell. You don't have to hold inventory. It is in a digital form. You can make a video once and it can sell over and over and over. And the reason it's not working, there was a boom. There was a lot of people were making a lot of money with it. But what happened was there was a lot of smoke and mirrors and people were just creating crap. It's a long haul type of game. So to answer your question, where I specialize is I will go in and say, where could you be a solution? Like, what have you figured out that someone else would just pay you for? And people think it's like, has to be very complex. And it literally can be so simple. It's kind of crazy. And people are like, well, they could go Google it. I'm like, but they want to learn. People want to learn from people that have the same value system that they know, like, and trust. I have ADHD. It is hard for me. I'm like a visual person. If you're not teaching me in a visual way, I cannot learn from you. So there's people I've gravitated to just for morals, values, how they show up. So what I do is I go in, I say, okay, how much would you charge someone for your time? And it's so funny how people are like $50. I'm like, you're telling me for all the lessons that you've learned, okay, through trial and error, working for someone else, starting your own company, like people dismiss dissolving a company and what that takes. I've dissolved a company. It is very complex, but you can teach that to someone so they can dissolve it and not just give it away, right? You can literally break down your expertise in this hour and say, okay, I could charge $500 to $600 for my time, because these people are going to come to you and be like, how did you do this? How did you do that? Did you do this? But we need to look at the value add on this side. So if it's like, okay, go get an LLC, you're not going to just charge $500 for that. That's pretty simplified. But if you're like, hey, in this hour for $500, I'm going to tell you how to start your business and get A, B, C, D done. And then after that, maybe do like a Voxer or like have access. So you can do that. You can make videos. You can do courses. I mean, with AI, it's just wild. It's wild. If you do it the right way. Now, there's a lot of things that are coming through that are not as valuable, I feel, and people see through that. But with AI, you can literally get a framework and get something up within minutes,
right,
hours, whatever.
I mean, it's just condensed our work in the process of producing something like that.
Yes.
So how are you using AI, and how are you teaching your clients?
We don't have time.
I know. It's such a vast universe. It's crazy.
Stoked. So a lot of people are apprehensive about AI, and I just say it's here. We need to welcome it in the right hands. It can do just such amazing stuff. I mean, look what it's done for your business, for Shield Our Schools, all the things. So how I implement it, so there's AI agents, and you can literally tell AI to like draft you an email and draw up the email and send the email. I'm using it for content creation, okay? So you can literally, it can analyze stuff. It can give you a whole content creator, a content calendar. So that's what I'm using it for. I used it the other day to look at all my offers and see the gaps within my offers where I could value add. I don't have time to do all that, right? So I got like 2 hours back. So I was like, I really need to go through my offer suite. I don't necessarily want to pay someone to do that. I want to do it because I'm pretty hands-on in my business. I want to answer pretty quickly so I can iterate fast. And so that's where a lot of small business owners are going to win, because they're going to take AI and use it, and they're going to be able to iterate really quickly. Do I think AI is going to wipe out a lot of jobs? Yes, but it's also going to create jobs. Yeah. And I feel like this skill set, and this is what I tell everybody, I'm like, if you have the skills to sell, like if you're a good salesperson, a storyteller, you will win. If you know how to use AI, you will win. Like, learn it. I just tell people, I'm like, learn. Be a student. That's where I think has helped me the most is, I'm like, I'm going to be a student. I'm 51. I'm like, there's not going to be a time if I've stopped being a student, it's done. It's over.
Absolutely.
It's over. Yeah.
Because especially right now, because everything's changing so fast.
Yes.
I mean, where AI is now versus where it was 6 months ago,
Yes.
even the same platforms that I've been using, their output is so much better. And
Yes.
there's new things that you can roll out. And I mean, it's just, the world is changing
I
so
prompted
quick.
a graphic. I needed a graphic for my beauty business, and I hate Canva. Dude, I hate it as someone who has ADHD, because I'm like, I go down a rabbit hole. At the end of the day, I'm like, did I even create a graphic? I thought I need a new business card. And I'm like, dude, I just wasted 3 hours like perusing the site because my brain can't. So I was like, okay, I love Claude. I've switched over. I made the switch to Claude. Connectors are great. Like, you've got to connect things, like once things are connected. So connecting to Canva, I was like, I need a graphic that's this, and this. This is what I want to say. And it gave me the graphic. And I was like, dude. And like,
What's a connector?
so in Claude, you can go to connectors. So there's like a plus button and you hit connect. I've connected it to my Gmail. It drew up a meeting for me. So I didn't have to go do it.
Oh, wow.
I just said, I have a meeting with someone on Friday. Send them an email, send me an email. And it did it.
Oh, that's revolutionary. So
Girl.
it could do it to Gmail,
Yes.
Canva, all these different.
Yes, Jotform. So creating a quiz. I'm very heavy in quizzes. I love quizzes, especially for all my clients. I make them all do quizzes because the quizzes are the gateway to calling in. It's like a funnel. It's like top of funnel. So it's like calling in the right person, because you're going to quiz them. You're going to edify them. You're going to make sure that these people are going to be like, if you have a high ticket offer, like by the end of it, they're going to know that you're the person to work with. So anywho, a lot of my clients were having issues because I was like, hey, you need to make a quiz. I'm not going to make it for you, but you need to go make a quiz. It made it in 2 minutes, girl. I connected it to Jotform. I was like, I need a quiz that's going to, I need an application form for my beauty business. And I needed to be like, this is the person I'm looking for. Ask these questions. And it did it, dude. It was wild. There's another one that again, it's like, it saves you time, but then on the opposite side, you're like, well, I have all this time. Now I want to create all this stuff. You can create an app. People are creating apps left and right. Apps used to cost 30 grand. People are now, like average people, using code. And they're saying, okay, so for me, what I did with this platform, it's called Lovable. I'm sharing it. So I'm multifaceted. I have a podcast. I have my beauty brand. There's a lot. So I'm like, where do I put this all in one place? I don't want to invest in a website. No more website for me. I'm done with the website. I'm going to control it all. So I went in with Lovable and I said, one of the things I'm doing manually right now that's such a pain in the ass is people are saying, what are my color match? I'm not a beauty person. So I'm just here for sharing clean beauty, right? So I was like, I need you to create something where they send their picture to you, not me, and tell them the products they need on my website and based on their color match. And it does it, dude.
Oh, wow.
Wild that we're living in this time.
That's a nice addition to this site.
Wild. So I say to all people, I'm like, if you feel like it's going to take your profession, go in there and just amplify how you can deliver better with it. And it won't. I'm telling you, it won't. People, if you can just create a better customer experience with it, you're going to win. You're going to win. Yeah.
If you take anything from this conversation, take that. Because that is the realest thing I've ever heard. And I'm not going to lie. I mean, I even have thoughts about it too as a podcasting agency of, there is so much that AI can edit the videos and do X, Y, Z. But at the end of the day, there's still gaps there, right? But as we lean into it, we're seeing how we can make the experience for our customers a little bit better and make it just more seamless for them.
Yes.
Where
if you focus on the customer, you're going to win. If you focus on how AI is going to take over, AI is going to take over.
Yeah.
What you focus on expands. Because I had someone, I was speaking at an event about AI, and they introduced me. They're like, she's going to be talking about AI today. And this travel agent, I mean, she was like, AI. And she just, by the end of it, she's like, can I talk to you after? I'm like, yeah, girl. Because if you make your customer experience top notch with these tools, they'll keep coming back to you time and time. You'll have a repeat customer. If you decide that AI is going to take it, AI is going to take it. It's just that simple.
Whether you think you can or you can't.
Yes,
it's true.
It's mindset too.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so as I hear your story and how everything's evolved, I think it's maybe not necessarily one specific moment, but one thing I love to ask people who come on the show is, what was the act or the time frame of your business where things started to work and it was as if you turned around and started swimming downstream? What would you attribute your growth in your business, whether it's as a coach or as a beauty brand? Where did you finally start seeing growth?
It's hard to pinpoint an exact moment. So it's, with entrepreneurship, it's ebbs and flows all the time. I've faced a lot of trials last year, breast cancer, so that made me pivot. So 2023 was really a quantum leap year for me per se. I was collaborating like crazy. I believe in collaboration. I mean, I know this is like cliche, collaboration over competition. Yes, every single dang time. Because when you are collaborating, like one of my best friends, she's a videographer. She's amazing. Grace, right? Mm-hmm. And we were collaborating. We were both rising together. So it was like we were quantum leaping together, because if she'd be in a room, she'd be saying my name. If I was in a room, vice versa.
Right.
So that, I would say, for anyone listening, if you want to quantum leap, collaborate. And don't be afraid, because I've seen so many people get their ego involved. And I'm like, there's enough business coaches, right? There's enough people, videographers. There's enough beauty. I mean, there's so many, but there's a piece of pie for everybody. And I just say, don't be closed off because your ego is in front, So I feel like every time that I've had a quantum leap, it's because I'm in a collaboration season. It's a season too, because we go through seasons, right? We're like, we've got to pull back for our health. And one thing I just want to say is that when you're in a hustle season, because these seasons come and you're in this momentum, do not put your health on the back burner. Because I did that in 2024. I was just crazy growth. I was going from event to event to event. And then 2025 found my lump. And then, I pushed off so much in 2024 for the business. I let the business lead instead of putting my health first. So that is one thing I just want to send home to everybody, is that you've got to make your health a priority and stop avoiding it. Because I did. I was like, oh, I'll just push through. I'll push through. And the push through led to, breast cancer and having to really take a step back. So yeah, entrepreneurship is ebb and flows always. Everybody thinks it's linear. I'm like, you're so funny. You're cute.
So and cute that you think that.
I tell people, stop following those people who are not real online, because if they're like talking about just this like straight up hill, there is a fire burning in everybody's house. There's a fire that's burning in everyone's home,
Yeah.
That people, and some people don't want to talk about it, and that's great. It's sacred, but don't just keep your eye on this, like, because people get stuck in comparison. They're like, oh,
yeah.
And I'll have to check myself too. I intentionally just kind of unfollowed some people just from an energetic. I'm like, okay, I need to stay focused to my next step for me, versus like, oh my gosh, I'm behind. And then I'm like, following some people who don't have kids, and I'm like,
It's like apples to oranges.
It really is.
Yeah.
And nothing bad to them, but even my business partner, who was in 2024, Grace, right? She's 28 years old. She's living her best life. She's like, I'm just gonna drink a Red Bull, work overnight. I'm like, girl, I don't have that luxury. I got a 4-year-old. I got a husband. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I'm 48 years old, and I'm just, I need rest.
Yeah.
Those days are gone for me. So
what you need to be your best self is very different than what the person next to you needs.
Yes.
So to compare yourself is, it's an interesting thing too, because I feel like human nature, you just kind of settle into those negative habits where it's natural to compare yourself, and it's natural to, have an ego that comes out. It takes intention to not let that lead the way. Yes. You need to be intentional about it.
Every day.
And it's like you just said, I had to unfollow people who I didn't align with energetically. So it takes a level of awareness for you to see that, that that's not a match. And it takes intention to create space.
Yeah, and it's all love. I mean,
yeah, of course.
For love of myself first, but love, I want people to grow and prosper, right? Because people are like, oh, unfollow. But you have to do that for your subconscious mind, like what you feed yourself. Like neuroscience is a real thing. I mean, Neuroscience is amazing. And what we're feeding ourselves every day does become our reality. And I was like, oh man, I was feeling so much anxiety. I was like, well, I got to get back to the hustle. And God's like, no, you don't, girl. You're on a healing journey. You just went through cancer. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to just rein it back a little bit. I got the rest over here. Focus on what you need to focus on.
Yeah.
And take a deep breath. And I'm like, okay.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I just look at you, Brooke, and I am so drawn to you, and I'm so grateful that we are now working together with Schiller School stuff. But
Honored.
I want to take a minute to commend you on what you've built, and I admire the journey and all the lessons that you're pouring into people around you. I mean, you're you're a real one, girl, and you're so good at what you do. And I would love for everyone who's listening and watching to go follow you, truly. So where can they connect with you? On social, website, wherever? Where is a good place for them to find
Brooke
you?
Berndt, business coach on Instagram. I'm going to explore TikTok this year. I'm going to do Gary Vee's like, I love him. I love myself some Gary Vee.
Me too.
So he was talking about TikTok shop. I think I'm going to explore that. But yeah, so Brooke Berndt, business coach. I don't have a website. I have a Stan store, and Stan can, I talk about Stan on my page as a digital platform that I love. And you can follow me there, Virtue Beauty Co. I do have a website for that. And Virtue Beauty Co. On Instagram.
Oh, amazing. I so appreciate you coming on. Thank you, Brooke. I love you too.
Thank you so much.
And thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you took some nuggets, and go apply them, will ya? All right. See ya. Remember this as you go about your day today. The ideas that are on your heart for a reason. Do not ignore them. Tune into them. Tap in, lean in, understand them, and pursue them. If not you, then who? If this episode was helpful to you in any way, please like, share, comment, subscribe. It does wonders for our efforts, and it helps us to continue our mission of inspiring entrepreneurs and giving them the resources and the perspective we all need to take it to the next level. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Paresa Noble, and we'll catch you next time. Remember this as you go about your day today. The ideas that are on your heart for a reason. Do not ignore them. Tune into them. Tap in, lean in, understand them, and pursue them. If not you, then who? If this episode was helpful to you in any way, please like, share, comment, subscribe. It does wonders for our efforts, and it helps us to continue our mission of inspiring entrepreneurs and giving them the resources and the perspective we all need to take it to the next level. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Paresa Noble, and we'll catch you next time.